For years, I've been lucky enough to travel the world, but I always return to Cornwall. This county is famous for rugged coastlines and sweeping beaches.
This is cool.
But Cornwall has so much more to offer.
These mines get almost a mile out to sea. This is the wonder of the world.
As a child, I remember the excitement of crossing into Cornwall. It was like entering an enchanted land.
Look at that church.
I couldn't believe how beautiful it was, but I didn't think I'd end up living here.
Now I want to show you what this place means to me.
They're like sweeties.
Discovering its rich culture.
I mean, the size of that, you know, I love these here. Rock and vegetation, that's the stuff I love putting in my paintings.
Unearthing the history of this ancient land.
Hello?
Meeting those for whom Cornwall is a special place.
This is where I feel at home.
I slipped and then over the cliff. They've renamed it Barry's Leap.
And as you'd expect,
We take this in, they're more than happy.
celebrating great Cornish food.
I mean, that and a glass of red wine. What else is life all about?
And I hope to inspire you with my own dishes.
On with the lamb. A sensational pud.
What I discover is that Cornwall is different to anywhere else in the world.
And it's that difference that I want to try and explain and to tell you what Cornwall means to me.
Every story has to start somewhere. And for me, there's no better way to begin than at the place I loved as a child. Well, this is quite an important part of the road from Oxfordshire to Cornwall when we were very little, me and my sister Henrietta, because just up ahead was the first time you could see the sea. And there was intense competition between me and her every year, every summer that we came down, who would see the sea first. The problem for her, of course, was that I was 3 years older and an older brother, and I knew when we would see the sea, and she never did. And every time, every year, I'd get it, and she wouldn't, and she'd be very upset. She probably hasn't forgiven me to this day. Just about to get up over the ridge here, and there it is. When I come over this ridge and see that, I know I'm home. As children, we were incredibly fortunate to have a privileged upbringing. And looking at the house my father and uncle built in the 1930s, I'm reminded of just how lucky we were. Well, this is Paul Vent in the house where we had so many lovely long summer holidays. I must say, it couldn't look better than today. And as you can see, it's a very nice Art Deco building, but for years and years, all the locals thought it was an eyesore. I mean, I was born in 1947, so I probably would have started coming here in 1947, not that I would have known much about it. My bedroom was just there, near that circular staircase. Not the tank room at the top, that had the water tank in it, but that one there. And it was a bunk room where me and my sister Henrietta always slept, but I always had the top bunk, you know, older brother. And it was just great holidays. Just always remember my mother's fish cakes, a grilled mackerel, and my dad making a sort of curious chicken and tomato soup on Sunday nights, which was really lovely. It was just heaven for us. My dad was really into classical music, so whenever I hear Schubert's Great Symphony, I think of Paul Venton. that was the living room, and just look at the circular glass there. It was quite something in its time, and the glazing bars are all made out of galvanised, so it was like quite a sort of architectural triumph. And also the sort of ship railings up there, it feels like somewhere between the land and the sea. And of course the sea all the way round. And then on foggy days behind us, you had the lighthouse and the foghorn. And actually a famous composer, Malcolm Arnold, composed a piece of music which put the foghorn into it. Anybody that's heard foghorns, it means so much to them wherever they are at the time. It's that sort of drizzle, mild air, and the foghorn in the background. And over here is the rocks, the Merripee Rocks, they were called. It's now where the lifeboat station is, but it wasn't there when I was here. And we used to go getting lobsters out of the pools. There's a massive pool at low tide there, and my dad was pretty good with a lobster hook. And I can always remember lobsters in the room at the back of the kitchen, just scratching around along the floor, because we didn't have them in a box or anything, lobsters and crabs. This is the absolute centre of my love affair with Cornwall. I mean, again, it's a bit privileged, but to have spent long summer holidays in a place like this with a view like that, I mean, there's no chance that you're not going to remember it with great affection.
I'm not the only one to have fallen in love with Cornwall. This county, with its rich culture and a variety of landscapes, has attracted artists, writers, and all sorts of creative people for centuries. From the high windswept moors of Bodmin, made famous by Daphne du Maurier in one of my favourite books of hers, Jamaica Inn, to the subtropical climes of the Roseland Peninsula, the setting for Mary Wesley's brilliant wartime novel, The Chamomile Lawn. West Penwith, where I am now, is on the tip of the Land's End Peninsula. This prehistoric land, the most westerly point in mainland England, is to me one of the most spiritual parts of this county.
When you think about it, this part of Cornwall has inspired so many British artists. I'm thinking of Barbara Hepworth, Bernard Leach, Ben Nicholson, Peter Lanyon, Terry Frost. That's just to name a few. And why? Well, I think it's the landscape. There's something incredibly moving about the sort of almost prehistoric nature of the landscape here. And the light. The light is spectacular.
One of Cornwall's most famous artists is Kurt Jackson. He's well known for heading out into the great outdoors to create huge canvases of the Cornish landscape, a method known as painting en plein air. The idea behind this technique is that the elements help shape his art, so it's not unusual to see bits of his painting washed away by the rain or sand embedded in the oils. Kurt has a studio at Cape Cornwall near Land's End. If I can find him anywhere, I'm told it will be here.
My gosh, it's hard to find you.
Yeah, well, this is my bolt hole tucked away.
Wow. I'm sort of used to sandy beaches on the north coast. This is a bit more rugged.
Yeah, this isn't really a bucket and spade beach. It's,
No.
I mean, it's essentially a cove where the local fishermen launch their boats. You got Land's End over here,
Oh, yeah, lovely.
with the Longship's lighthouse just off.
Couldn't be a better day to come here.
No, it's always a sun trap down here. It's extraordinary.
So is this where you've been painting?
Yeah, well, I've painted here for like nigh on 30 years. For many years, I painted in the cave around the corner, and then the fishermen took pity on me and rebuilt this hut for me.
But this is where you will be mostly then, out
Yeah,
here?
yeah.
Well, this is where I'll always picture you from now on, I think, Kurt, because it's you.
Kurt is taking me to the place that has provided the inspiration for his latest project, Cornish Valley. The name means a place abundant in firewood, which in this case is gorse, or what the locals call fuzzy bush.
Aside from the fact that it's utterly beautiful and very atmospheric with those chimneys there, why have you brought me down here, Kurt?
Well, this Cornish Valley, and it's essentially my backyard. It's just down the road from where I live. And it's a place that's absolutely steeped in the history of West Penwith. Cornwall was about mining, tin and copper primarily. Like what we're surrounded by and scattered amongst this valley are the ruins and relics left over from the mining industry. A lot of it was water powered, so we're talking about the 1700s, and then that was superseded by
beam engines, I guess.
Exactly,
that's what the
yeah.
chimneys are, like
Which are
steam powered.
Coal was the fuel brought in by sea.
For lifting the copper and the tin.
Yeah.
What would your life expectancy be as an ordinary miner in the 18th century?
Well, I mean, you remember it wasn't just men working here, it was the bow maidens, the women, and the kids. Even little kids were working here. It was always the men and boys underground, women and girls above grass, as was said. Probably only 30 years maximum is what's recorded, yeah. It must have been an awful, practically slave labour, you know. And so, I mean, now we see this glorious valley, and one of the reasons I'm drawn to it is not just because all the heritage and the past is on view here. It's a place that's full of nature now. Nature has healed it, has clawed its way back, and now this place is chock-a-block with fauna and flora, a lot of it quite unusual and rare, and that's the stuff I love putting in my paintings.
Lovely clean water.
There's lots of trout in here. Nice brown trout you'll see. People who are born and bred in this valley are called trout.
Really?
Trouts. Tregesil trouts.
Kurt, what are we looking at here then?
We're at the bottom of Cornish Valley, so what's known as the Bottoms. And this is Porthleddon Cove, which means the wide cove. You've got Cape Cornwall on that side. That's an Iron Age fort, once upon a time. This bit of cliff leads out to what's known as Castle Cornish. So it's a unique place that's protected by two forts, because it was all about tin again, even back in those days.
What I love about your landscapes is that it's not what the normal person would see. There's so much more there. The colours are so much more intensified. It's almost like, you know, this idea of sort of opening the doors of perception, I would say.
Lovely, yeah.
Into a sort of subliminal world. And if you get it, it just so much illuminates your own view of what you're seeing.
Even though my paintings, for me, need to show what I'm looking at and what I'm seeing and experiencing, there's always going to be an element of artistic license. It's more to do with feeling than just visual.
One of my favourites of Kurt's paintings is this self-portrait called Standing on Black Rock. But looking at it, I'm having trouble finding him again.
This is the spot where I made that self-portrait on the Black Rock.
That's it there, is it?
That's the Black Rock, bang in the middle of the cove. That painting, it's paint and it's collage. If you look at the surface, it's got a lot of cloth and sand from the cove and all sorts of stuff stuck on it to try and create that feeling of texture and solidity of the rock and the land here. As well as the strength of the sea coming in on it.
I do think that just having you on the rock makes all the difference.
Well, it gives it scale, doesn't it?
Very much so.
The scale of me, the figure in it. And then it's also the distance with the light of the late sun on the ocean disappearing out towards the horizon in the west. I wanted a big empty ocean with no sign of anything really apart from me. It's this idea of trying to put myself in a sort of primeval feeling place without man's influence on it, I guess. We know we've changed this place, but sometimes you can return to that feeling again, which I think is delicious.
It's very, very dramatic, that painting, I must say. You can see why people feel Cornwall's different.
I'm attracted by these marginal places because nature still has a chance to survive. West Penwith has this incredibly sort of iconic situation where you have water, agriculture and mining combined together, which is how the landscape's formed here. I like that combination of rock and vegetation. I like to be able to see the bare bones of the countryside around me. That's the stuff I love putting in my paintings.
Do you know what? I think I'm getting a bit complacent. I've lived in Cornwall most of my life, and I think I know everything about the county. But I just picked up this wonderful story. Quite near the party town of Newquay, there's a place called Tresillian House. And at Tresillian House, there's a Cornish food story of utter charm and delight.
All this orchard is underplanted with ancient Cornish daffodils in the spring.
Lovely.
Born and bred in Cornwall, head gardener John Harris led a team to create an orchard that has become a bit like a Noah's Ark for apples, making sure that some of Cornwall's rarest fruits never become extinct.
The most favourite Cornish apple was Cornish gillyflower and Cornish aromatic.
Lovely names.
And they were always the Christmas apple.
They're all Cornish apples. They're not
Yeah.
from Devon or anywhere else?
And now gillyflower and aromatic started their life just outside of Truro in about 1840-ish. And that's the most important thing when you plant something, not just put it, but to know the history of it and where it come from and why it got there. And this is what it's all about, is to live in library.
This passion and love for food is exactly the reason I ended up opening my first restaurant in Cornwall. And all these apples remind me of one of my mum's favourite dishes, an apple charlotte, which I'll be cooking later.
This is a perfect time of year, isn't it, to be in an orchard like this?
Rick, this was planted in 91, 92
Yeah.
as a restoration and to preserve all the old varieties. And one wonderful instance, I'm getting old for this job, that's what they call a pear apple. Now that
It doesn't look much.
No, but I tell you what, that was grown to make soft cider for ladies.
They made soft cider for ladies.
For ladies, now we've got to look after them. Because harvest time, ladies didn't have the rough cider like men. And that there is the most beautiful apple if you want to make apple puree or soft cider.
Can I just have a taste?
Yeah, do
I
it.
just love apples. Is it an apple? Is it a pear?
But it's got the name pear apple because
Yeah.
it's the shape of a pear. But
And it's
it's
very
a true
soft.
malice apple.
It's a lovely apple.
Yeah.
But try and sell that in a supermarket, eh?
Oh, you put that on the shelf and they'd throw it in the skip. Nobody would buy it. But they'll buy a Braeburn that got no taste to it or that'd been picked 12 months ago.
What, and kept in storage?
And kept in storage.
Well, what I'm looking for is a good cooker and a good eater.
Well, look, come with me a minute
Right.
and I'll show you a proper apple up here.
What about all this light, you know?
Now this here See, this is 100% organic. There's no chemicals used at all. And that there is a sign of clean air. Years and years ago, when men worked in the woods, they've called them foresters, they would save all that and dry it as fire lighters for the winter. And in the spring, you want to see the birds take this off for nesting. It's not detrimental to the tree whatsoever. We don't use a chemical spray at all. If we get a bit of whitefly, I make up my own remedy with the potato water.
And that works?
And that works. What you use to make gravy or throw down the drain, one of the finest things of all for whitefly.
Fantastic. Right, where...
Now, look, come with me.
Okay.
And,
So how many different varieties have you got?
84 different varieties here.
Oh, it's enormous, isn't it?
And it's planted on a diamond pattern.
Right.
And that's done to get maximum light. Apples have got to get sunshine to get the sugar content in them.
Of course.
Now, this one here
Wow.
is a beautiful one.
What a colour.
Yeah, now, this is Crimson Queen.
Oh, lovely.
It's a beautiful apple. Look at this, look. Look at that.
Oh,
These striking red apples get their colour from a pigment that develops as the fruit matures. The same colouring in cranberries, raspberries, and even red cabbage.
You have a taste of that.
oh. Well, that would make cider for ladies too,
Yeah,
isn't
but I
it?
tell you what, that make a handsome apple tart.
Really?
You the top layer with that there,
Yeah.
going down through all that pink, absolutely beautiful.
Well, I've got an apple charlotte in mind. I think we'll use this.
Well, we'll have a bucket full of these.
There's a lot of apples here. Do you sell them off to Poseidon?
Oh
or-
yeah, we shall get rid of these all go into juice making.
Oh, gosh. I bet your apple juice is something special.
Here, what's two old men doing rummaging around down here? We're like school kids, aren't us?
Well, as school kids, it's nothing like scrumping for apples, is it?
No, we're in this. But then we hope we ain't got some blasted farmer gonna chase us
Well,
out.
that's for sure. Johnny's just pointed to a cooker because I need some cooking apples in my charlotte as well. This one's called Lord of the Isles. It looks like a lordly tree. It's so full and big and impressive. And look at the colour on those apples. I'll just get 2 or 3 of those. But I mean, I really think just talking to Johnny, we miss so much because there's so much knowledge, love, history in apples. And all we seem to be able to do is go to a supermarket now and pick up pink ladies. I mean, it's even hard to find Cox's orange pippins in supermarkets now. And yet you come here and you realise how much heritage there is here. And what are we missing? It's just a sad scene, I think.
The recipe I'm going to show you is a really easy one to make. Take a handful of apples, about half a kilo should do it, making sure there's an equal mix of eaters and cookers. And where you can, always buy British. Peel, core and chop.
Don't be suspicious of golden delicious. Whatever your granny might say, they're only apples.
And now just going to heat them up on my trusty old barbecue with a bit of butter.
Then add 30 grams of butter, some sugar and saute till soft.
So, this is my mother's recipe for apple charlotte. When I was a child, we always had a 2-course dinner. Not lunch, it was called dinner. And for dinner, we'd have, I don't know, maybe a roast or maybe some sort of casserole, or she used to do risottos, her version of risottos. But we'd always have a pudding. She'd do things like treacle tart, she'd do spotted dick. But this is one of the ones I remember with great affection. Right, there we go. Just going to put some zest of lemon in, which my mother always did.
Adding lemon was my mother's personal touch.
Nostalgic already. And just a little bit of cloves. Not too much. A little clove goes a long way. Great. Just leave that now for the apple to cook out. So I'm just melting a bit of butter now to dip my bread in.
You don't need artisan bread for this. Just regular white sliced will do.
There we go.
Cut off the crusts, dip into the melted butter, be careful not to burn your fingers, and line a small pudding basin, making sure you leave a couple of slices for the top.
So just going to squeeze that in there a little bit, ready to receive the puree. Lovely pinkness. Very pleased with those apples that John made me put in there. So we have here Crimson Queen and Lord of the Isles. I mean, it just kindles the appetite, I think. Just going to taste that now. I think my mum would be quite proud of that. Quite pleased with me. Good.
When the puree has cooled a little, add a pinch of salt, beat in an egg, and pour into the bowl.
Now I can put that straight into my pudding bowl.
Topping off with the final slices of bread.
And there you go.
Bake in the oven for about 30 minutes at 200 degrees Celsius.
There we go. And I'm going to serve that with, yes, you've got it, custard.
Here, what sort of job have you done here then? Well, now look, I'm going to try some of this.
OK.
Now, this is Mother's recipes.
It was my mum's, yeah.
Now, did Mother teach you to cook proper or no?
Well, she did, funny enough. She never meant to.
No?
But she just cooked nice home food, you know, and I always liked it.
Yeah. And you carried on the tradition?
I can't.
Well, you weren't doing a bad job, you know that.
It's sort of Sunday afternoons for me, this, you know. Might have had a bit of roast beef. And then my mum's apple charlotte.
There's nothing wrong with this. It's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you very much.
I mean, an hour or two ago, these apples were growing. That's beautiful, that is. Absolutely beautiful.
Join me next time as I continue my journey across the ancient land of Cornwall.
Good morning. Jeremy, isn't it?
That's right.
Try a bit of scallop. To me, they're like sweeties. They're the most pampered cattle in the country.
So my grandma made cheese during the war.
These paddles are mesmeric. Lovely smell in here. Well, this is amazing.